Hi, I'm Claire. I'm the Orchard Gardens Farm Director, and I'm here to show you how we pot up tomatoes. If you're growing at home, you might not actually have to do this process, but if you started your tomato seeds, for example, in like little egg cartons or something really small, you might have to pot them up like we're doing before you actually put them out in the garden. Last time you were out here with us, you saw us seeding tomatoes and eggplants and tomatillos into these channel flats. And now that flat we seeded last time looks like this. These are the cotyledons, and these are the very first things that come out when your seed sprouts. And so you want to wait until all of these are up, and these are the true leaves. The growth point, which is right here where the tiny baby new leaves are coming out, that needs to be above the soil surface. But these cotyledons don't actually need to be above the soil surface. So we just pot them from the channels into these 4-inch pots. I just use 2 fingers and dig like a pretty deep hole. And then this guy goes in nice and deep. The cotyledons, I mean, they're still up above the ground, but like where they're coming out of the stem is below the soil. But the growth point right here is above. We don't want to hit them with water and have them immediately like fall over or wash out. The other important thing when you're transplanting stuff that's this big that has a lot of roots, you want to make sure all these roots are underneath the soil surface, because if even a few of them are up above, they'll dry out really fast and that will weaken the plant. We put these back into the greenhouse after we're done repotting. They're going to stay in the greenhouse for like another month or so. We actually put all of these freshly transplanted trays underneath our greenhouse tables. So if we put them up above, even on kind of a cloudy day like this, it's just going to be too hot for them and too bright. We leave them under the table for like 3 to 4 days, and then we move them up once the roots kind of have a chance to recover and like set in a little bit, and then they do fine. The thing we do out here is we have some tomatoes that are growing out in our field, and then the bulk of our tomatoes we actually do in our greenhouse because it just is warmer and it gives us season extension, and we don't deal with the same sort of like pest or fungus problems as we do outdoors. One of the things, like I mentioned earlier, that I see the most often, and then people get really frustrated because their like plants aren't doing that well, is planting too shallowly. And you saw how deep I pushed these. It's another big deal with brassicas, so like your cauliflower and broccoli. We're probably going to plant these outside like the first week of June or so. And then our greenhouse tomatoes go in like the second week of June or so. In general, you want to just wait until the last frost date, which for Missoula is May 21st, 22nd, somewhere in there, a couple weeks from now. After that last frost date passes, you can put them in the ground, but I would just keep a really close eye on those low temps because Missoula has been known to dip below freezing after our last frost date. So we will see you all back here then.